Learners, this is Habiba with Excel with me. If you like the videos, please do like, share, subscribe, and below I will bring you the best content always. So let's begin today's class, that is Pedagogy of Social Sciences, with the topic School Curriculum and Resources in Social Sciences, with the subtopic From Subject-Centered to Behaviorist to Constructivist Approach to Curriculum Development. Earlier in previous classes we have discussed subject center, that is content is given importance rather than the learner and curriculum. Then behaviorist approach, which says according to the behavioral changes learning happens, that is behaviorism is the observable thing where learning can happen, they say. Now let's understand today, that is constructivist approach. Introduction. Constructivism as a philosophy has a long history. The term constructivism is considered to be equivalent to a set of epistemological theories which are grounded in the belief that meaning is constructed in the minds of individuals through the cognitive processing of interactions in world, and explored some important variations on this theme. So what is constructivism? Earlier also we have discussed majorly learner's knowledge that is constructed according to the experience. Already learner is having some experience. With that experience, learner constructs the knowledge and learning happens, they say. So here constructivist paradigm calls for a change in the classroom culture, attitudes, beliefs and practices. Earlier they used to have only the content given importance, where the learners have to by heart things, only get lots of knowledge, but no way of creativity, and the thinking process is not developed there. So here in the constructivist paradigm, they want to change all the classroom culture itself, the attitudes, the behaviors, the practices, the beliefs, everything will be changed. Significant aspects of constructivist theories is shown to include the notion that learning is active, social, and situated in particular physical, social and cognitive contexts, that it involves the ongoing development of complex and interrelated mental structures, and that the construction of knowledge is to a greater or lesser degree distributed across individuals, tools and artifacts. So what are the significant aspects in the constructivist theory? They have the active learning related to society, social interaction between people, and it is situated in a particular physical and social and even also cognitive processes. Earlier we have discussed in subject only content, knowledge is given, the concepts are learned and things happen. In behaviorist, the observable things are learned there. But here even cognitive, that is thinking process, is given importance with the physical and social interaction. So it involves the ongoing development of complex and interrelated mental structures, they are saying. The knowledge is constructed here. It may be greater or lesser in the individuals with regard to tools and artifacts also. So Jonassen in the year 1994 summarizes what he refers to as the implications of constructivism for instructional design. The following principles illustrate how knowledge construction can be facilitated. Let's understand one by one. First one, provide multiple representations of reality. Obviously, when the children grow up, they have to face the real life situation. So, multiple representatives of reality should be presented before the learners. then represent the natural complexity of the real world. Obviously, they should understand when suddenly they go into the real life situations, if they are not trained how to change their behavior, how to have their attitudes and adjustment behavior, the complexities of real life they don't understand, they will not survive in the competitive world. So focus on knowledge construction, not reproduction. They should understand the things, the concepts, not reproduction, by adding things and producing on the paper. That is not correct. Then present authentic tasks, that is contextualization rather than abstracting instruction. Then provide real world case-based learning environments rather than predetermined instructional sequences. Obviously predetermined, already some set sequences are there, doing this and after this, after that. That's not correct. They should learn with their innovative and creative ability. That should be case-based learning environments. Then real world, they should have the real world. The student should be taken outside to learn things. Then foster reflective practices. Obviously, whatever they have learned, they have to reflect upon. Whether it is correct or wrong, they should understand the positive and negative aspects of what they are doing. Then support collaborative construction of knowledge through social negotiation. Obviously, discussion, classroom discussion, all these things, collaborative work, if they do, they will be able to mingle up with others also when they go into the society. Then Ernest in the year 1995, in his description of the many schools of thought of constructivism, suggests the following implications of constructivism, which are derived from both the radical and social perspectives. This constructivism has come in the beginning, that is very important. Who brought this? That is Jean Piaget has brought this. Already we have discussed about this in previous classes. Please check out for that. Now here Ernest, what he says, the radical and social perspective of this constructivism implications, let's understand. Number one, sensitivity towards and attentiveness to the learner's previous construction. So whatever previous knowledge is acquired, sensitivity and attentiveness should be there, he says. Then diagnostic teaching, attempting to remedy learner errors and misconceptions, he says. That is very important, diagnostic teaching. If learner are not able to understand things, the teacher has to go back and think what mistakes are done, so that in remedial things, new aspects are added for better learning. Then attention to metacognition and strategic self-regulation by learners. That is attention to meta. Meta means beyond thinking they should go. Beyond thinking, that cognitive process, and strategic self-regulation. They should regulate themselves. Self-regulation by the learners. The use of multiple representations of mathematical concepts also very important, and the awareness of the importance of goals for the learner and the dichotomy between learner and teacher goals. Then awareness of the importance of social context, such as the difference between folk or street mathematics and school mathematics, and an attempt to exploit the former for the later. That is important, he says. Now constructivism shifts emphasizes from teaching to learning. Obviously teaching learning process, we say, focuses on knowledge construction, not reproduction. Repeatedly we have to remember this one, not reproduction, knowledge construction. Then help students develop processes, skills and attitudes, individualizes and contextualizes students' learning experiences, considers students, whatever important things are there, we should consider their likes and dislikes also. Then learning styles. Different learners, they will have different learning styles. According to that, teacher has to plan the methods of teaching and strategies of teaching. Then it provides for meaningful, then problem-based thinking. That is very important. problem solving ability should be developed among the learners. Then requires negotiation of meaning, then reflection of prior and new knowledge, obviously what they have learned and what they have to learn in future, reflection should be there. Then extend students beyond content presented to them. Then constructivist approaches can also be used in online learning. Obviously nowadays what is happening, online learning is given importance because of this pandemic. So constructivist approach says that online learning is also important. For example, tools such as discussion forums, wikis and blogs can enable learners to actively construct knowledge. Constructivist paradigm is a new culture, a new environment in the class. So we come to the end of this session. Please, if you like the videos, please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. I will come back with the new video in the next class. Thanks for your attention and time. Happy learning.